Drunkfish Gaming.
Hello and welcome to Drunkfish Gaming, part of the Escape Pod cast Content Creators Network. I'm Fighting Drunk.
And I'm Lord Jim the Fish, and today we're going to be talking about new race speculation.
So, as you might have heard from the Discord, or if you watched our last video, there is 2 new races coming to Dragon Champions.
Exciting. Indeed.
And what we've done is actually had a look at some of the fantasy games out there to see what races might be coming.
Yeah, and we picked the most common things, or the most common games that we've seen. So Dungeons and Dragons, World of Warcraft, and then just some generic forums as well. We've chosen just one forum that had quite a few lists on there. So, and there are a lot out there, but we chose top 3 because it'd be easier to go through those.
Yeah. There's a lot of races that you might not have heard of. So we're just going to talk about the main ones that most people will be aware of, as we thought this is probably going to appeal to more of the player base.
That's right. So as you can see here on screen, you've got some of the more common things like dwarf, and underneath us is an elf. And as we go down, there's like half-elves, halflings, humans, obviously. But then there's a few odd ones as well, which we don't think will go in there.
Yeah.
So the Genasi, you've got the gnomes maybe. But like Dragonborn, that's quite specific.
Yeah.
So we don't think those would go in there. Yeah. It would be interesting to see, but we think it's more generic ones.
So should we start talking about dwarves?
Yeah. So what is a dwarf? It's a medium-sized person. So it's not a small person. It's just a slightly shorter person than an average human. An average human being 5'10", maybe even 6 foot, with how we've actually got to in the human race nowadays.
So dwarves are known for their mining, their craftsmanship, and their height.
Yep. And also their ability to drink beer. So I would hope that there is some form of inebriation.
That would be great fun. I can just imagine the intro story for them at the moment.
Yeah, it would be
some of the stuff that
quite funny, and the accents that we could do for that as well would just be epic.
You could do a drunk one.
Yeah, well, so as Fighting Drunk, it would be quite appropriate for you to do that.
Yeah.
And let's hope they have some sort of drunken boxing stance, which they can then fight with, or with tankards, such as
gotta have the tank.
Fighting Drunks here. Yeah. So dwarfs. So they're going to have a lot of health generally across the board. I think they're quite stocky.
Yeah.
But they might be quite slow as well. So they wouldn't have a lot of speed sort of moves or anything like that.
So my initial thought was just a tanky race, someone that doesn't deal huge amounts of damage straight away, but will outlast their opponents.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that theory, what does that remind you of at the moment?
Pandas?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So,
but then pandas can knock out some serious damage as well.
They really
get amber, and then you just
If you look at some of the characters, though, they're big, they're tanky, they've got decent armor. It's something that seems to have been done.
Yeah.
So doing dwarves would be interesting, but I don't see what angle they could take. Especially as well with the humans, you've got the big armor, shields, etc. within that.
Yeah, but you can still be small and have a lot of health. Stocky. It's called strength. Yeah. So we'll see about dwarves, but I would look forward to playing with dwarves. That'd be good, and just hope they're very drunken. That'd be great for our channel generally as well. So next we have gnomes. We think is the next sort of large race, most likely race. So when I say large race, they're actually very small. They're like this big. They're little gnomes. Think about garden gnomes, but they get underneath your feet and are very good at dodging.
Yeah. So this could be quite a funny one, especially with all the dodge chat that's been going on recently, and people getting pissed off at that. Having a race that is designed to do exactly that.
It gets so frustrating.
That would be hilarious.
And interesting as well. So most gnomes or small people or like halflings have bonuses to hitting larger folk in like D&D and so forth, so plus 40 a roll or whatever. That's because they're small and they can get around very quickly and they can jump up on things and hang on your neck, all that sort of stuff. So it'd be interesting to see if there are any specific actions they had against those that were large.
Yeah.
Or like 6 foot plus, like orcs or humans, they could actually get bonuses to.
And that is something that we could talk about later as well with some of the other ideas that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, but I would think gnomes are quite fragile though. It wouldn't take a lot to,
I think they're going to be more of an evasion, death by a thousand cut type class.
Yeah, hence the bow on the screen, yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's good.
Don't let your opponent get close.
No, that's right. So our next on our list is halflings. So here we have our amazing bard on the right-hand side of the screen. And so again, similar to gnomes, so relatively short.
And dwarves.
Well, yeah, but
Are we only talking about short?
think about size. So you have dwarfs and halflings and gnomes, yeah, in terms of height. So that's how it goes. So there'll be a balance in between, but also think there'll be lots of drinking there as well. If we've all seen Lord of the Rings and seen the Green Dragon and all that sort of stuff.
All about Lord of the Rings. Here.
Merriment, yes, exactly. So could you have all three? I'm not sure.
I think we're likely to get one of them, if any. And I'd like to say out of all of them, gnomes, that would be the most interesting one for me.
Yeah, I think so. I would probably say dwarfs because I like to, obviously the drinking. But halflings, sort of in between. Yeah. Not too fussed about that. And we've all seen it, big hairy feet might be interesting, but who knows?
Like yours.
No comment. Says the man that's wearing orange socks right now. Don't get them out. Don't get them out.
What?
They don't want to see it.
Post a comment if you want to see my socks.
They are vile.
They're amazing.
Okay, so our next on our list is lizard folk. So I think on screen we've got those lizard folk somewhere down here.
Let's scroll down
a bit further down.
So
there we go.
We've got
lizard
like
folk.
the goblins and stuff on here. Things that are already in the game.
Indeed.
So lizard folk. I've put this one on here because I thought that would be quite interesting. We've already got Vorian, who is pretty much lizard folk as it is.
Mm-hmm.
But a whole race of that would be really intriguing.
Yeah, and poison might be a main theme in there as well.
Yeah, I really like poison characters, and this could be a great chance to do it.
Be interesting to see if Freezard had some sort of impact on them as well. So being, cold-blooded, if they then got frozen, they'd then become like completely debilitated.
Yeah.
So things like that would be really cool. So specific race-related things that actually happen in real life. So you got frozen, you'd be like, I can't move, and it's even worse for lizards. But then they would have naturally more armor, they'd be more tough.
Yeah.
And they could probably have all the same abilities as any other.
Skin.
Yeah, maybe a bit of fire as well, a bit of fire and poison. Yeah,
you could have different types of lizard.
Yeah. And there's nothing on the actual sort of racial traits here that would come out, I think, in the game, apart from a few bites as well. So I think those are lizards. So then we have the centaurs.
Where are they?
So where are they?
There's a lot on.
Githwell. There we go. So half human, half horse.
This would be a really interesting one. I think it would have to be done really well because you can imagine half human, half horse. It's probably going to be quite a powerful character. I'd expect a lot of speed on it.
I would, and a lot of strength as well.
Yeah.
What weaknesses do centaurs have? I mean, they're going to be super powerful.
Do they wear much armor normally? I can imagine them being just fast, heavy hitting, but not that tanky.
No, that would make sense. I think, yeah.
You could get an archer one, a spear one, sword and shield. It could really work.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
It'd be interesting to see if they came to the game, them having some either allegiance with the humans or hate for the humans.
Yeah, one of the two, depending
it's going to go 50-50.
Which way you like it. Yeah, if we've all seen Harry Potter, they don't really like humans. So no, I could see that. That could be interesting to see. So Minotaurs, which are on the right-hand side of the page here. So this is your super heavy-hitting...
tanky as bleep.
Well bleeped.
Thanks. That was definitely not edited in.
Yeah, so maybe a lack of like magic or finesse or healing, but just sheer brute force and health. Yeah. You can go in with armor, lots of armor. So maybe a couple of tanks in that team and go with that sort of play, with some damage. Going out there.
What do you reckon? Slow speeds, fast speeds?
Well, maybe one attack that was fast, but then the rest of it will be slow.
Just heavy.
Because it's that rush, isn't it? It's that rush that we. What's it called? A goring rush or hammering horns that you'd see.
Just the bull charge.
Yeah, maybe a shout or a roar which like debilitates people.
Intimidating.
Yeah, so that it does debuffs and stuff like that. Yeah,
that could be quite interesting.
Yeah, that definitely could be. So in terms of the rest of the D&D ones we're seeing here, you could go on for a while and look at all the other races, but we thought those were the most popular ones.
Yeah, they're the ones that a lot of people would have heard of.
Yeah.
Apart from things like half-orcs, etc., which are just things that are already in-game mixed together.
Yeah. Okay, so the next thing we were looking at was World of Warcraft. So if you have a look at this tile that we have on the screen now, you'll see all the races down the left-hand side and then some of the classes as well on the top. So the classes don't really match up, but there are a few things you can pick up, like a paladin is like someone that's your tank. Your mage is your mage, it's very similar. Your hunter is someone with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got like your rogues on here, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Things that are already in the game, so
Recency,
could be a place the devs have got some inspiration from.
Indeed.
So on here, you'll notice dwarves and gnomes come up again.
Mm-hmm.
This is a reason that we wanted to call them out before, just because they are very common characters or character classes within this type of game.
Yeah, and then you'll see the new ones here as well. So like alternative elves, so night elves.
Yeah,
they're going to be more sneaky. Again, high damage dealing, less healing. I think a lot of the elves are sort of focused on healing and sort of supporting each other, whereas night elves would just be like sneak, attack, poison, maybe something like that.
I'd say they'd have more stealth type mechanics.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if it was more like dark elf as well. So it'd be more like super like evil. Characters that I could imagine that, because there are. I mean, Mordoom is the most evil person in the game. We somehow made him camp with our voiceovers. So yeah,
you'll see there are some other types of elves on here. So blood elves, wood elves, void elf.
Yeah,
there's a lot on there.
Yeah, they're quite specific though.
But night elf is the one that we wanted to call out there.
Yep. So then another one to call out is trolls.
Imagine a big clunky troll. On the enemy team. Even if this isn't a playable race, I would love to see them come to the game.
Yeah, sort of thing that you'd imagine a troll and some goblins.
Yeah.
Or some orcs and the troll together. That's sort of how it really works. Like in Total Warhammer 2, you can see that happening.
Yeah.
No, that'd be really good to see. And they're going to be the tank or like the super big beast that would take all the hits. Yeah. And then everyone else is more damage dealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be quite interested to see how they did that, because being a troll, they're big, they're going to be heavy hitting, probably slow, probably doing a lot of area of effect.
Yeah, a bit of chundering on the enemy. Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah,
I think if they brought them in, they'd probably have to take up more than one character slot, just so it's not overpowered, and that they do justice to the faction.
Yeah, interesting. They haven't considered that so far. The fact that some characters might be so OP that you could take up 2 slots.
Yeah,
because that could really change up the tactical aspect of the game.
Yeah, so you've got one troll with 3 goblins. That could work. Yeah.
There you go, devs. Are you listening?
Ideas.
See, that's free.
Yeah. Next one's charged.
So the next one we thought about was undead. So your standard skeleton zombies, but also vampires. We need some vampires.
We need resurrection here.
Yeah.
We need people to just keep coming back to pissing you off. They don't have to be heavy hitting.
No.
They just need to keep
be
on
really
reviving.
Annoying. Yeah.
I think that would be great fun.
Yeah, and it fits the theme very well. I think you could have what other sort of characters of undead are there? So like little ghouls or something like that, or yeah. I think we'd have to go through our like Witcher list of like evil things or something. Yeah.
You've got Cruella that could kind of fit in with that.
True, actually. Yeah,
but
she's sort of vampiric, is she?
Yeah.
I
think there's bats somewhere.
Bats. Yeah.
Yeah, that type of thing. That could be a brilliant faction.
Yeah,
and something that is completely different to what we've got at the moment.
Yeah, no, that'd be good to see. You see the Pandarian pandas here as well.
Oh,
it's not at all familiar.
Yeah. See, goblins, orcs.
Yeah,
there's a lot on there.
It's pretty similar. Cool. So that was our list for World of Warcraft. So then we had a look at the forums. So the few things we picked out here. So centaurs came up quite a lot. Vampires we've already mentioned. And then we had some other things, so like giants.
Giants, that was the one that stood out for me. Again, these are going to be probably a lot bigger than your normal characters. Back to the idea of your trolls taking up 2 slots.
Yeah,
you'd need that probably for your giants. But imagine just having the ability step on. You just step on your opponent.
The whole team
just takes out one opponent, full health, gone.
Yeah. It's sort of thing
that resets on like 10 turns.
Yeah, so super powered, but then use it once a battle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the sort of thing I could imagine for the raids as well. So you had one big bad boss, not just a supersized hard orc or whatever it is. Actually, have a big giant.
Yeah, legitimate.
Yeah, that would make sense. So then we were thinking about nymphs. They're very little fairies or something like that, or some cheeky nymphs where you'd have like 10 nymphs instead of like you
get a pair of them as one character slot.
Exactly, and then in terms of the number of attacks, that's quite a lot, but they wouldn't deal a lot of damage. But they could do buffs quite a lot. That could be quite useful.
They come in different classes like fire nymph, water nymph, etc. Don't they? So you could have a lot of different abilities going on there, and really have quite a mixed faction rather than focus on one type of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you see dryads here as well. So these are tree people. And that could be amazing against fire characters.
That would be good.
Yeah. Bernie.
Just Amara out there with their flamethrowers.
Yeah.
That would be insane to see.
That would be awesome. So then, was Cyclops, I think, was our next one?
Cyclops is somewhere on this list.
So similar to Minotaurs or Minotaurs.
Yeah.
But just with one eye, so they'd have vision problems. Or depth perception issues
that miss a lot. But when they hit,
they hit hard. Yeah. I can imagine that anyone that inflicts blind is like they're completely screwed. They can't attack. They can't do anything. I think blind is accuracy, isn't it? It affects accuracy.
Yeah,
miss, but you're guaranteed to miss with blind. So I don't know. Do you have any other things for Cyclops or no?
Nothing really.
Okay.
And then the last one that we wanted to shout out was angels. So we've got demons in there. Why not angels? Have something complete opposite of what we've got. Though I can imagine the class would be relatively similar.
I think more fly-based things with the wings, and then maybe some damage, but mostly healers, similar to elves, I'd say.
Yeah.
But maybe faster.
So, one more thing that we don't have on the list at the moment, but from the intro video, just thinking about this now, so sorry for not prepping you on this one. Sorry. What about the dragons that were actually in the intro?
It's Dragon Champions.
What if there was a dragon race? Nothing big like Erichar, etc.
Small dragons.
But small dragons, just something that brings the game.
We've all seen how to train your dragon. I can imagine you can get loads of different types of like midget dragons.
Yeah. Just small dragons,
burping gas, ones, firing two heads, firing like electrical bolts or whatever. Yeah, I can imagine that.
Imagine that. A young dragon breathes fire. Only works 30% of the time though.
That would suck. I don't think I'd go for that. No, but that's a good shout actually. That'd be really interesting. I think a lot of people like dragons, and the game is called Dragon Champions. So having to fight one dragon and fight it and not actually have any dragons is a bit of a bummer.
And that's the thing. They've said the next raid is going to be goblin themed, so there's not going to be a dragon there. So it's a good way to actually bring it more into the game.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Again, you're just giving these away, Fighting Drunk. Seriously. Hold them back. Make sure we get money from next time.
I'll try.
Nice. So let us know what you think are likely to be the next races that come up. Maybe a few other races you can see on here that you think might be good in the game. And if you've liked the video, hit like. And if you want to see more videos, hit subscribe.
We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Drunk Fish Gaming.